Like, do you want some plot with that sex? Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new reading vlog. It's been what feels like a little while since we made a vlog just dedicated for reading, so I thought we would do just sort of a casual one today. I don't really have a time frame in mind. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be a weekend, weekly, 24-hour, I like don't know. I've just been super focused on writing lately. I think the last 4 vlogs that have gone up on my channel have been just writing vlogs, so I wanted to take a break and do a reading one because I'm reading a lot today. Today's Saturday. Not that the day really matters. I don't really have a concept of time anymore. Also, this video is being sponsored by Skillshare, so I will talk a little bit more about them in just a little bit. Anyway, I'm in the middle of quite a few books, but there are 2 that I would like to finish today. There's one that I have to finish today because I have the audiobook from my library, and this always happens to me. I'm gonna lose my loan if I don't finish it. And it's always with this series too. If you look back at my previous vlogs of me reading these books, it's always down to the wire. I always finish it within like an hour of me losing the audiobook. So finally, I'm listening to The King of Crows by Libba Bray. This is the 4th and final book in the Diviner series. I have 21 hours left on my loan. I'm gonna lose it at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'm 65% of the way through, which makes it sound like, oh, you're so far. No, this audiobook was like 22 hours long. That's why I'm struggling so much. I'm 65% of the way through and we still have 7 hours and 45 minutes left. For a lot of audiobooks, that's the full length. And I lose it tomorrow morning. And there's a line of people waiting, so if I lose it, that's it. I'm not getting it back anytime soon, so we'll have to finish it today. It's around noon when I'm filming this first clip, so we have all day today. And I'm not working tomorrow morning or anything, so I might stay up late just to finish this book. So we're reading this one. And then I'm also in the middle of something that you guys recommended to me, and like, I'm not judging you for you guys recommending this book to me, but also like, what the heck is this book? So we're also reading Priest by Sierra Simone, and with that said, I'm actually a decent chunk into this. I'm 34% of the way through. I just got to chapter 10. I think I started this last night and I was reading it a little bit this morning. This is a love story with a priest. I was curious with this one, both because so many people recommended that I pick it up, and also because I've had an interesting experience with Sierra Simone's books so far. She wrote A Lesson in Thorns and A Feast of Sparks, which I read last year. And A Lesson in Thorns was one of my favorite books that I read last year, and then the sequel, Feast of Sparks, was one of my least favorite books that I read last year. So it's been very different. We need a tiebreaker. We need to read a third and see if it's a good one or another bad one. And this is doubly ironic considering the book that I have coming out. I guess this is a good segue to plug my book. If you didn't know, my debut novel, The Anti-Virginity Pact, is coming out June 16th of this year. You can add it to Goodreads or pre-order it. I'll have all the links down below. So yeah, those are the 2 books that I think I'm the furthest in, so we're gonna focus on those in this vlog. I also recently got a couple of arcs that I'm really excited about, but I want to force myself to finish the books that I'm in the middle of before we start anything new. So yeah, thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this vlog. It's almost been a full year now since I started working with Skillshare, and I've been taking their classes since last summer, and I've really been enjoying them. Skillshare is an online learning community with classes in a really wide variety of different topics. I've personally really enjoyed the business, entrepreneurship, finance classes, as well as the writing classes. What I learned recently is that they have an American Sign Language class, and I just have always been curious about that, and I've always wanted to try that. So I'm thinking that's gonna be the next class that I try, is start to teach myself sign language, because I feel like that's important. I feel like everyone should know at least a little bit of sign language. Just like as an American, I'm disappointed in myself that I don't know a ton of languages. I'm always so jealous of people who grew up in different countries where the school systems are different and they're actually taught multiple languages throughout their education. And in some schools there's like differing requirements. Most people I know in my country are not fluent in more than one language, and I wish that I was. I think it's so freaking cool. I speak French decently well, but like, it's not the same. So I think that's gonna be my new hobby. I'm gonna start teaching myself sign language with Skillshare's classes. So yeah, if you're interested in trying something out on Skillshare, they're offering a deal for my viewers. So if you click the link down below in my description, you will get 2 months for free, so you can try them out. And then even after that free trial, they're super affordable. It's less than $10 per month. And I've been completely satisfied with every one of their classes that I've taken so far. I really found value in them. So make sure to go check that out down below in the description. If you're interested, you could learn sign language with me, and let's just get back into the vlog. So yeah, like I said, I have 7 hours and 43 minutes left of this audiobook. I think I'm just gonna pop it in and get some stuff done around the house, like cleaning, laundry, that kind of thing. And then it's so nice outside today. It's like 65 degrees. I don't have any furniture on my balcony yet because I moved in here in the winter time. And then it's like, I'll just buy outdoor furniture when it's not snowing in like the springtime. And this is what is happening with our springtime, so that hasn't really been a priority for me. So maybe I'll like carry one of my kitchen chairs out to my balcony so I can go sit out in the sun and read my books. After a very thorough clean of everything around here, it's now 2:15 and I have 5 hours left. So we've gotten through like 4 hours of it today. I think I'm gonna take a break from it for a little bit, maybe read something else, work on some other stuff, and then we'll come back. We're 78% of the way through and I'm liking it. I really liked the second and the third books in the series, Layer of Dreams and Before the Devil Breaks You. I think those two are definitely gonna be my overall favorites. So far, this one, honestly, is my least favorite. It's like right underneath the first book for me. So it's not bad. I'm just like not as into it as I was with the second and the third book, unfortunately. I still think it's really well done and I still really love Libba Bray's writing in here, but I also had some other really exciting loans coming through my library. So I just have like, I'm getting them all at once. I have all of these books that I'm really excited about in my queue now and I'm like, I don't have enough time to read all of these, but I want to read all of them. I just got City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert today and I've been dying to read that. I also recently got The Testaments by Margaret Atwood, which I really want to read. So many books, not enough time. So something I've been meaning to do for a while is update my wall. Hi, Max. It's just supposed to be a 3-month plan, so I should have updated it at the beginning of April, and I haven't yet. So I think I'm gonna take all of the sticky notes off that are up there now and keep listening to my audiobook while I work on it. I don't think it's gonna be as detailed as January through March was. Like I had a ton of sticky notes up there. But this coming one, just because of, you know, the general state of the world and how it's kind of hard to plan right now, at least it is for me. I don't know. There's some things that I can for sure plan on and then other things I don't really have a whole lot of control over. So I don't know how many sticky notes are gonna be up for this plan, but I might as well update the board. Also, if I can figure out where I put them, I bought smaller sticky notes, which will be good because these big ones were a bit much last time. I'm definitely gonna add more to it later, but we have a nice little start. It looks like so much smaller because they're so tiny and I've been like layering them on top of each other, but I'll update it a little bit at a time. I'm glad we gotta start though. So I now have a little bit less than 4 hours left in the audiobook. I'm gonna take a break. The problem is I only have the audiobook version of this and usually I like to switch off between listening to it and then I'll like pull out the physical copy and I like to listen along while I read it. And I don't have a physical copy and I don't want to just like sit here for 4 hours and listen to it. I don't really, like I've done everything I need to do around the house that I can do while I listen to it. So now I just kind of want to sit here and like physically read. So we're gonna jump over to Priest. It's 4:30 right now. And I'm also having a hard time because The King of Crows, I'll get into this obviously once I finish the book, but I am assuming I'm just going to be really disappointed with this book overall, which is really sad because I read the second and the third book last year and they were some of my absolute favorite books that I read. I thought this was going to become one of my all-time favorite series, and lately I feel like every series conclusion that I've read, every final book in a series that I've read lately has been disappointing. Maybe I'm just like too hard to please and no ending will ever be good enough. This book is like 600 pages long, and also if you've ever seen the physical copies of these books, the print is like super tiny. Like I don't even know what the word count would be on this book, but they're gigantic. And I'm getting to the end and I feel like not much has happened. Nothing worth taking up 22 hours in an audiobook for. Like it's kind of like a travel journey book where the characters like travel here and I don't find that interesting. I don't like those kind of plots. So especially coming out of the third book. The third book was so freaking good and had so many like shocking, surprising things happen in it. And this one so far, like I'm getting to the end and I can't pick out really anything memorable. And like I'm already forgetting what happened in it and I'm currently reading it. So it's been disappointing. Now we're gonna switch over to a romance book. This will be a lot more lighthearted. This book has been really fast paced. I think I'm like a third of the way through it, so maybe I just need a change of pace. Okay, one thing I have to comment on with this book is our main priest character loves The Walking Dead, and I swear to God that is his only personality trait, and it comes up every 5 seconds. The Walking Dead t-shirts, he's thinking about Walking Dead forms. Like it's just like every time there's a scene with him has like some kind of reference to The Walking Dead. Like that's his only personality trait, is that he likes The Walking Dead. So it's 5:45 now. I'm going to switch back over to The King of Crows. I have the audiobook until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, but honestly, I don't know. I would rather just finish it tonight and not have to worry about trying to finish it tomorrow morning. So I made it to chapter 17 in Priest. We got to 56% of the way through and I have a lot of thoughts. This book is extremely smutty, like, which is what I expected, but to the point where I'm 56% of the way through. I'm on page 210 and it has been like entirely sex scenes so far. You know that joke of like, do you want some coffee with your sugar? Like you put so much sugar in your coffee, it's mostly sugar. Like, do you want some plot with that sex? I'm kind of disappointed just because I would rather there be some more depth to it and to like genuinely like the characters or understand the characters, and I just feel like the character development's kind of lazy. Like this guy's character development is literally that he had an older sister who died and he feels really guilty about that, and he likes The Walking Dead. That's it. And then our main character, Poppy, is basically from like a rich, waspy kind of family, and she no longer speaks to her family because she doesn't like what they stand for. And so she became a stripper. And now they're having sex a million times, like inside of the church. I just keep waiting. These sex scenes are stressing me out because I am waiting for someone to walk in on them because they are just doing it in the middle of the church. So over 200 pages in, and I don't have a lot of hope for character development. We've kind of gotten to a part in their relationship where I'm just like, yeah, it's not going to get any better than this. So I'm a little disappointed in that, just because I know that she can do better, because I really liked her book A Lesson in Thorns. I liked her characters in that, and the character development I thought was really well done in that book, and this book definitely feels lacking in that area. However, I will say, of all of the romance books I've tried to read lately, this year, last year, I've tried like every subgenre out there. Sierra Simone, I think, has my favorite writing style of all of the different romance authors that I've tried to read. I really like her writing. She's very talented. She's clearly a very good writer. So the writing itself, I'm really enjoying, and I'm still enjoying the book. Like, I'm not hating it or anything. I'm just kind of laughing at it. If you just want some smut, which I think is pretty well written smut, like I said, she's a really good writer and I really like her writing style. If you're just looking for some smut, you'll probably really like this book. But if you want like an actual story or development, it's not that there's none, it's just that like, it's like she didn't even care. It's like she didn't even try. She just like threw in, oh yes, he likes The Walking Dead and he listens to Britney Spears, and that's his whole personality. Now let's jump back to The King of Crows and see if we can knock out another hour or two. I think I've been listening to it at 1.75 speed. So what's the math there? So if I continue at this rate, I will finish it in just over 2 hours. And it's only 6 o'clock. So we're on track. So it's now a little after 8 and I just spilled my drink all over the floor trying to set up this camera, but I finished The King of Crows. And if you want a coherent review, maybe check my Goodreads, which I'll update that review, you know, after I've been able to put my thoughts together. I'm really bummed because I loved the previous books in the series so much that I was kind of hoping that this finale would hit me harder and that I would be sadder that this series is over. Before I started this book, in my mind, this series was like up there as one of my all-time favorites, and this book has just like lowered my enthusiasm for the series overall so much. It wasn't even that bad, it just really didn't compare to the previous books in my opinion. It was underwhelming, it was disappointing. Honestly, it just seemed to follow this sort of like arbitrary and meandering journey, and it just felt like filler. I'm happy with the way that everything worked out. I still love all of these characters, but I feel like my interest in this series really fizzled out with this last one. If you're gonna read the series, which I still highly recommend it, I think it peaks in the second and the third books. The middle 2 books are the best ones in my opinion. I went into this really expecting to give it a 5 out of 5 stars because that's what I gave the second and the third one. I think I gave the first one 4 out of 5 stars, and I'm leaning towards like a 2.5. Like, that is how far down it is. So I didn't hate it. I'm glad that I finished the series, but I'm still very disappointed. Granted though, I went into this book with the highest of high expectations. Like, I think of this series on like a whole other level than most books that I read. Like, this is one of the most well-written and most well-researched and thought out series that I've ever read in young adult. Like, I adore this series. So maybe this conclusion in another series would have been satisfactory, but for this series I expected something fantastic and it was okay. So yeah, it's like 8 o'clock. I think I'm gonna pull up my iPad and we're gonna go back to reading Priest. I'm not really concerned about whether or not I finish this today because it's not from the library, but we'll probably just read this till I go to bed tonight, and I'll either finish this tonight or tomorrow. Hey guys, so today is Sunday. I've been working on some writing stuff all morning, and that's probably gonna be my main focus for today because I took yesterday off mostly from writing, but I'm still reading Priest. I definitely think I'm gonna finish this today. I can't remember where I updated you last about this book. I'm currently 63% of the way through. I have about 100 pages left, so I definitely think I'm gonna finish this today. I've gotten to a part in the book, like, I knew this was coming. Like, it's very clearly set up in the beginning that this is gonna come back into play, and I've just been like dreading it because I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be really annoying. So I have a feeling I'm about to get like really frustrated with this part of the book, but we'll see how I feel about it after I finish the whole thing. I'm thinking this is gonna be a 3-star read. That's what I'm leaning towards, which is disappointing because I updated my Goodreads review for King of Crows earlier this morning and I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars, kind of more like a 2.5. So that means both books for this reading vlog so far are 3-star reads if this works out the way I'm expecting it to. So that's just A very lackluster batch of books. We'll have to pick up something really good next. Okay, so it's now a little after 3. I've been switching back and forth between working on writing and reading a little more of Priest. I'm now 80% in, so I have like 50 pages left. And I swear, the further I get into this book, the less I like it. Like, we started off okay, and I feel like somewhere between a third of the way through and half of the way through, I started to go down, and now I'm just like, oh my god, everything about this is annoying me and I just want to finish the book. Like, I went from thinking I'm gonna give this a pretty high rating to progressively my rating is going further and further down. So we'll see. Maybe the ending will blow me away, make me really happy, but right now I'm just annoyed. So I finished the book and I feel like I need some processing time before I can do like a proper review for it. But I feel like for what it was good. Like, I could pick this apart all day long and point out everything that I didn't like about it and everything that was wrong with it. But like, for what it was, I think it's good. Especially compared to a lot of the other romances that I've tried and not liked recently. This is definitely up there, something that I like more. I think I was saying this in a previous clip. I really like her writing style. Definitely not my favorite. Maybe like a 3-star, I think is what I'm leaning towards. If you just want something that's super smutty, maybe try this one, because I swear that's the only thing that happens between these characters. I feel like that was probably one of my biggest problems, was I wanted some actual development with the relationship, and I feel like she just kept telling us that he treated her so differently when they weren't having sex, but we never actually saw any scenes of them together not having sex. So it's like, I never actually see you guys develop like any other way other than sexually, which is like my favorite part of the relationship. I like the banter, I like the sexual tension, like I like all of the before stuff, and we didn't have any of the before stuff. I also found some stuff at the end just to be annoying. Kept telling us like how smart this girl was because she was so well educated, but we didn't really see that. Like, she never behaved in such a way that she was super smart. It just was like telling you all the time that she's super smart, and then she would act in a way that I'm like, but is she really? And even by the end, the only personality that Tyler, our priest, had was that he liked kinky sex and The Walking Dead. So it is what it is. It was a fast read, obviously. I finished this within like 24 hours. I really enjoyed the writing style. That's probably, I think, the strongest aspect of the book, but we're done now. I'm gonna be focusing on writing for the rest of the night, so I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thanks for hanging out with me. This has been like 2 days, I guess, kind of a weekend vlog. If you're new here, maybe subscribe and stick around. All of my links are down below in the description if you want to pre-order my book, follow me elsewhere, all of that good stuff. And I'll just see you guys in my next video very, very soon. Bye.
So hit me. So hit me. So hit me. First a confession. With you, I feel a connection. With